Beeping slices through her consciousness like a razor. She lifts her head, gropes for her phone. She holds it up to her ear, mumbles a greeting. "PC Lucy Halliday. You're needed." The woman at the other end relays the information, but Lucy's barely taking it in. Her brain's foggy, body heavy, still enmeshed in the web of sleep. She puts the phone down, then rolls over onto her back, and for the first time fully opens her eyes. The world is muted, the sun barely up. She squints at the clock. Just gone 5:30. No wonder she feels like shit. She must have got 3 hours sleep, dropping off after 2. She sighs deeply, then swings her legs out of bed, padding to the shower. The jets provide some relief. She stays there longer than she should, given the urgency of the call. She dresses quickly in yesterday's uniform, licking her finger to wipe at a smudge of something on her trousers. Mud? Chocolate? She's not sure. She brushes her hair and ties it back, still wet, in a tight French plait. She pads downstairs in her bare feet. No clean socks here. She heads out of the kitchen door to the kennel. Inside, the dog looks up from the entrance to his bed box, his dark brown eyes curious. "I know. Don't blame me." He gets up, stretching, his hind legs almost touching the floor, then trots outside to the garden, nails clicking on the concrete. She leaves him to it, oils the kettle, spoons instant coffee into last night's mug. All the others are filthy, piled up in the sink. She sniffs the milk. She'll have it black. She carries her drink out into the garden and waits, her bare feet growing numb while the dog does his ablutions. She's come to learn the ways of this small black cocker spaniel and knows that these things can't be rushed. The dog sniffs and circles, then finally decides on a place on the thinning grass. Lucy sips the hot coffee slowly. It's going to be a nice day. Still cool, but the sky is clear, the sun starting to cast a dim glow across her tiny lawn. It's no more than a patch of grass. Simple, unloved, and the house is the same. She can't call it home. It's the place she's living in while what? What is she waiting for? This is it now. The house full of packing boxes. The job she barely makes it through, hour by hour. The life she lives alone. The dog ambles up to her, and she crouches down, running her hand through his soft black fur. He rests his head against her, looking up beseechingly, but she isn't fooled. It's not love. He wants his breakfast. She obliges, going inside and pouring kibble into his bowl, then opening the fridge for herself. There's an old crust in a plastic bag, so she puts it in the toaster. Once that's done, she gets a pair of socks off the drying rack, where they've been for weeks. She puts her shoes on and gathers her bag. The toast pops. She smears it with peanut butter, then holds it in her mouth while she locks up the house and ushers the dog out to the car and into the boot. The new neighbours are grumpy about having a cop car on the street, even though it's not a proper one, not a patrol car. The unmarked blue Mondeo sits in stark contrast on the driveway alongside her personal vehicle, a rusty VW estate. Anyone would think they'd be pleased. The best burglar deterrent there is. But no, they regard her with suspicion. This lone woman who never speaks to them, never smiles, whom they hear up all hours of the night. She climbs into the front, resting the toast on the dash while she plugs the coordinates into the sat-nav. She heads out, 5 miles west, to Gallows Wood in the New Forest. It seems she's not the only one who's been deployed at this time in the morning. She's waved through the outer cordon by a uniform and stops next to a patrol car and a Ford Focus she recognises. She frowns. If Fran is here, why do they need moss? She dusts crumbs off her trousers, then gets the dog out of the back, clipping his harness to the lead. She gives Moss her saved toast crusts. He snaffles them in a second, then pulls, eager to work. Together they walk towards the activity, towards the blue and white tape, the crackle of radios, the chatter of conversation.